Hi everyone, my name is Monique,
And I'm Naveen from Before You Play.
and today we're going to be doing a two-player playthrough of a game that is currently on Kickstarter called Brink.
Yes, this game is designed by Max Anderson, Zac Dixon, as well as Austin Harrison, and published by Ivy Studios, who are helping sponsor this playthrough. And in this game, we are now returning back to the Moonrakers universe, where we're going to be using our ships to fly out into the galaxy to explore, gather resources, as well as use those resources to ultimately try to score the most prestige points.
Yes, this is a worker placement and resource management game with a heavy emphasis on trade and negotiation for 2 to 5 players. And so in higher player counts, negotiation will primarily be done amongst players, but in the 2-player game, we must use a card-driven rival. And so today, as per usual, we are going to start with the teach of the game, and we'll go straight into our 2-player playthrough demonstrating the use of this rival. If you'd like to jump around, we'll include timestamps in the description below.
Now, we do have to mention this is a prototype copy of the game, so things are subject to change in the future. Definitely the graphic design will be changing, so just be aware of that. If you are interested in the campaign, there's a link in the description, which you can check out at your leisure. And lastly, if you like these kind of videos and you want to see more in the future, please consider subscribing.
And with that, we are ready to begin. So if you please direct your attention to the center of the table, we're all set up here for a 2-player game of Brink. Welcome to the galaxy. Now, if you're familiar with the Moonrakers universe, you'll know that there are 5 different factions. And in this game, they are each vying for power. And as players, we are trying to earn the most amount of prestige by gaining influence and voting them into power. And so the game is played over the course of 3 rounds. And each round, players will be taking turns placing out all 3 of their ships onto the board in order to gain influence in the form of cubes, as well as to take actions that have to do with recruiting ambassadors, gaining action cards, upgrading their ships, and drawing rider cards that'll affect how the election goes. The round ends as soon as all players have placed out all 3 of their ships, and then we go into a council vote. At that point, players will vote for 2 factions who will win each round, and of those 2 factions, players will score points depending on how much power they have in those specific colors after placing out their ships. Now, a lot of the various cards in the game, such as faction objectives, ambassadors, riders, as well as action cards, will sometimes affect the way that we gain power and the way that the council vote occurs. But that is the majority of the game and how we're going to be scoring our points. Now, a couple of things to note before we talk about the turn structure is that each player is given a player color, but we do not represent the various factions in the game. They only indicate the color of our pieces as well as our starting influence. And so, since I am the blue player today, I will start with 2 influence taken from our supply.
Yeah, and I am green, so therefore I have these 2 green.
And it's important to note that because the supply is actually going to consist of a certain amount of resources per type, depending on player count. So since we're playing a 2-player game, there are only going to be 16 per color.
And lastly, a lot of the graphic design, including the text as well as the colors, are going to be changing from the prototype you see here, so just be aware of that.
Yeah, there are noticeable difficulties distinguishing between orange and yellow, as you'll see throughout the game. And just note that they've already made changes to them. Now, like I was mentioning, each round, players will be taking turns putting out all 3 of their ships onto the board. And so each player has 3 different classes of ships. The class 1 ship can only be placed on 1 hex, and it only activates that 1 hex. And so as an example, on my turn, I could place the class 1 ship here.
Sure.
And when placing out ships, you gain all of the influence/favors that are shown at the top of the tile. And so in this example, I would gain 1 orange cube from the supply directly into my tray. However, if the cubes are outlined in white, such as these 2 cubes here, then that is actually favor. And the difference is anytime you take favor, it's going to go to the front of your tray because favor can only be traded away. If you are unable to trade any favor cubes by the end of your turn, then these will go back to the supply. So they are not innately yours, but you can use them during your turn in order to gain other cubes from other players. Now, like we were mentioning, in a 2-player game, we are going to be using a rival, but we'll discuss how that works later. In addition, players can also take the action that's listed at the bottom of the hex, and you can also trade at any time on your turn, and so these things can be done in any order. Class 2 ships, on the other hand, are placed in the intersection between 2 tiles, and you get to activate both of them in any order.
So in this case, Monique would take this yellow influence cube and put it in her tray, and put the 2 purple Cerelia cubes in front of her as part of favor.
That's right. And finally, the class 3 ships go in the intersection between 3 hexes. And so as you can see here, I've placed it between both the blue and the yellow hex, as well as an unexplored hex. And so anytime you you place out your ships on a space that's unexplored, including your class 1 or 2, like I could have placed it directly there, then you would draw a tile from the supply and you would place it immediately. And you would get to activate that tile as well. And so in this case, I would gain 2 orange influence and 1 green influence, and then I would be able to take the actions at the bottom of each tile in any order of my choosing. I meant 3 orange influence, by the way. And these ship placements will also represent the amount of power that you have in all factions at any given time. And so in this example, I have, it looks like 1, 2, 3 power in blue because I have my class 1 ship touching this hex and this class 3 ship touching both of these blue hexes, as well as 1 power in yellow and 1 power in green. Any red hexes stand for the Utopian Alliance, which is not one of the main factions. And so this concept of power is going to be extremely important for when we go to calculate points at the end of the round, as well as for claiming things such as recruiting ambassadors and claiming faction objective cards.
And one last thing to note about ship placement is no 2 ships can ever occupy the same space, so nobody can come here. And also, no class 2 can ever be adjacent to a class 3. So these 3 locations are off limits.
All right, so then let's go ahead and talk about the various types of actions. The first type of action is represented by this symbol at the bottom of these hexes here, and it is taking action cards. And so anytime you gain action cards, you're actually going to draw 2 cards from the action card deck, and you're going to discard 1 of them. Now, during setup, each player will start with 2 action cards already in our hand, and when you go to discard, you can discard any card from your hand. It does not have to be of the 2 that you just drew. Now, action cards can be used in multiple ways. The first way is by using its ability that's listed at the bottom of the card. There are 4 different times that you'll typically see action cards resolve. Sometimes you can use them on your turn, and if so, you can use them at any point during your turn. Some action cards will allow you to manipulate the council vote, some will be used during scoring the council, and some will be used at the end of the game. And we'll discuss these more as we play the game, but just so you know, instead of using it for its ability at the bottom, you can always use it as a temporary influence in the color of the card. And so in this example, I could use it, instead of using it for +1 power when scoring during the council, I can use it as an orange influence cube. And whenever you are able to take the action, but you choose not to take it, you can instead take a purple favor from the supply, and that is going to be exhibited on the back of the action card deck.
And again, favors go in front of your screen into this little tray section. Influence would go behind your screen into your possession.
All right, so then moving on to the next type of action, we have this icon here that represents drawing a rider card. Now, during setup, each player will already start with 1 rider card in your hand, and when taking this action, you're going to draw 1 and choose between the 2 that you have to play in the rider card area. And so as you can see here, it maxes out at 4 rider cards. These cards manipulate the council vote. And so as an example, I have here the vote of no confidence. When playing a rider card, you're going to assign it a faction color by placing 1 of the cubes of that faction from the supply on the card. And so as an example, this says if the green faction does not place first or second after the council vote, then you trigger a revolt in this color. And so one thing that we didn't mention is if at any time you need to gain cubes of a certain color from the supply and there aren't enough, it triggers a revolt. And when a revolt occurs, all players must discard half of their cubes of that color rounded up, including the player who triggered the revolt. And then that player can continue drawing up as many as they needed to. Another example of a rider card is Exile Inclusion. So let's say I were to play this and I assign the yellow faction token to it. During the council vote, as you'll see, these purple cubes are wild for a lot of different things, and during the council vote, they'll count for 2 votes instead of just 1. Now, when playing this card, this says purple votes cast for the assigned faction, which in this case would be yellow, are increased by 1. And so, as you can see, there are a wide variety of these rider cards, and they're going to make the voting phase a lot more dynamic.
Sure.
And similar to the action card action, if you have access to a rider action and you either choose not to take it, or if all 4 of these slots are already filled, then instead you gain a purple Cerealia cube as a favor. Next, we have the recruit an ambassador action that is represented by that symbol, and this action allows you to recruit 1 of the 4 available ambassadors that are face up in the display. Each ambassador card gives you a special ability. And so as an example, this green faction ambassador card just gives you +1 green power each round. As long as you have this card in front of you, you'll have access to this ability. Other cards, such as this one, will allow you to, say, use green influence as blue. And so just like other types of cards, there are a wide variety of effects the ambassador cards will have, but just so you know, the top right-hand corner of the card tells you how much influence you'll have to spend in that faction. You'll first calculate how much power you have at that time on the board in that faction's color, because you'll only need to pay the difference. And so in this example, if I had 2 power in blue by placing out my ships, then I would only have to pay 3 influence in order to recruit this ambassador. At the end of the game, players will also score set collection points for having different colored ambassadors in front of them. It's going to be 2 prestige for 1 ambassador, 5 for 2, 10 for 3, and 18 for 4 different colors. And you can score separate sets this way.
And purple ambassador cards are considered wild, so they can represent any other color.
And while we're on the topic of the purple faction, they are called the Cerelia faction. And just so you know, the purple influence cubes are a wild. So when spending influence in order to recruit ambassadors or gaining these objectives, as you'll see, and also during the voting phase, these can represent any other faction color. The difference is during the council vote, they will count as 2 votes for the faction that you use to represent it as. And when taking the ambassador action, if you choose not to recruit one, then you gain 2 favor of whatever color is shown at the top of the deck.
And one new rule that we know that they are currently making a change to is in order to flush this complete ambassador board, you can spend any 1 influence cube to wipe as many as you'd like.
And that is each time you take a recruit an ambassador action. All right, and so the final type of action that you'll see on these hexes is the upgrade action that is represented by this symbol. This allows you to pay resources in order to upgrade on your upgrade track. And just so you know, each upgrade board is asymmetric. And so as an example, in order for me to upgrade to the first level here, I'll need to spend yellow cubes. But Naveen's here, he'll need to spend blue first. So this is something that we'll want to consider when we're negotiating with other players. Now, whenever you take an upgrade action, you're going to choose between going left or going right. And that will determine how many resources you'll have to spend and what you'll actually upgrade your ship with. And so on the left-hand side here, we have all cargo. And each row upgrades a different class of ship. So the first time you upgrade, you're going to be adding this piece to your class 1 ship. The second time is your class 2, and the topmost is your class 3, which means each ship can only have either a cargo or a railgun, which are the tokens on the right-hand side. Cargo, when attached to your ship, allows you to take double the amount of influence and favor cubes, depending on where you place your ship. And it's retroactive, which means had I already placed out my class 1 ship and then later decided to upgrade it using this cargo cube, I would immediately gain the influence that's listed on that hex. On the other hand, railguns, when attached to your ships, gain you an additional power on the hexes that you've placed the ship. And so as an example, if I place this ship here, when it has a railgun, I would gain an additional blue and yellow power. And that is essentially how upgrading works. Now, the last thing is if you get to the very, very top spot here, that is going to just award you immediately 15 prestige points, which is quite a lot. And so that is something that we are going to be trying to do throughout the game. And those are all the main types of actions that you'll see us take. The last thing is anytime on your turn, you can also claim one of these 5 faction objectives. And in order to do so, you'll need to spend a combination of power and influence, just like with recruiting ambassadors, depending on which faction objective you're trying to meet. And so for the main 4 factions, you'll have to spend a combination of 10 in their faction color. But for the purple faction objective, you'll have to spend a total of 8 Cerelia cubes, which are the purple ones, and /or power in specifically the Utopian Alliance, which are going to be any of the red hexes. Now, each of these faction objectives will give you access to a certain ability. And so when you unlock the blue one, you'll gain those 4 UA tokens, which can be used during voting. And any faction that you vote on with those cubes will gain -2 votes. In addition, as soon as somebody gains this objective, then you're going to place 2 of those types of tokens on all the Utopian Alliance spaces that are already on the board. And anytime somebody goes to one of those spaces, they get to take one of those tokens to use as well. So not only do these objectives unlock something for the player who unlocked them, but all other players around the table will be able to utilize it in some way as well. And at the end of the game, the player who unlocks the faction objective will gain an additional prestige for each of the leftover influence cubes in that color. And so if Naveen had unlocked the UA trade agreement, he would gain 1 prestige for each blue cube that's left over in his tray at the end of the game. The yellow faction objective allows a player to attach the fusion drive, which is that piece, to their class 2 ship, and it'll basically allow them each round to spend 1 yellow influence in order to move their ship to another location. Next, we have the green faction that allows the player to place this shield lattice onto a hex, and any player's ships that are touching it will gain an additional power on that hex. In addition, each round, the player controlling this card can flip it over in order to relocate that shield lattice. Similarly, the orange faction allows you to place out the UA flagship, which is the opposite of the shield lattice, in the sense that it grants all players touching the hex -1 power in that faction. And the player controlling it can also move it once per round. And finally, we have the Cerelia faction that allows the player to immediately place out this purple hex here that's slightly cut off. And for the rest of the game, whenever the controlling player votes using purple cubes, they count as 3 votes instead of 2. And any players who assign their ships to that Cerelia hex are granted a wild power, which they can assign to any of the 4 other factions. And that is essentially it. Now, as soon as all players have placed out all 3 of their ships, then the round ends and we go into a council vote. At that time, players will cast their votes on this tray hidden behind their screen, and then we will simultaneously reveal them in order to see the 2 factions that have the highest number of votes in the round. But after all votes are cast, and before we finalize the 2 winning factions, players will be able to play action cards from their hand, we'll be taking account any riders that are in this area as well as ambassadors, and then we'll finalize which 2 factions are the winners for the round. And in the case of a tie, the tiebreaker is on the back of the topmost rider card. Once that's decided, and so as an example, if green and orange were to have won that round, then each player will count the total amount of power that they have showing for those 2 factions and multiply the power by their multipliers. And so as an example, if I had, say, 2 power in orange and orange placed first, I would gain 6 prestige because the multiplier is 3 times the 2 power that I have. And these multipliers will change from round to round, each time increasing slightly in value. Now at the end of the 3rd round, the game will end and we'll go into end game scoring. And one thing to keep in mind is any factions that have won multiple times will score players extra prestige for leftover influence in your supply. We'll also score for any leftover influence cubes if we have claimed those faction objectives. We'll score our ambassador sets. And finally, we'll score any endgame action cards that come into play. And at that point, whoever has the most prestige is the winner. So we're just going to go ahead and get cleaned up and we'll get started with our playthrough.
Okay, we are ready to go. Everything has been reshuffled. We both have been dealt 2 action cards as well as 1 rider card in our hands. So hopefully we can use these to our advantage. We do have to figure out who is going to be going first. What do you want to do?
Shambo?
Yes.
Go.
1, 2, 3.
Me.
Will be going first.
All right.
Okay.
So, like we were mentioning, because it is a 2-player game, we are going to be using a rival deck. And so the way that this works is we have a deck of cards that are, I believe there are 4 different cards here, and they represent the 4 main factions. And so we have a rival bag that is currently seeded with 2 of each of those colors.
Except for purple.
Right. And during our turns, we can trade with a rival as long as we meet any of the criteria at the top of the card here. Yeah. And so as an example, on my turn, I could give the rival 1 purple cube or 2 yellow or 3 of any color. And so that's what the rival wants. And when trading with them, this is what the rival is willing to give you. So this is anytime you see white, it's any color, but the cubes are taken from the supply. I should say this is any non-purple color from the supply. In addition, any cubes that you give the rival are going to go directly into their bag.
Yes.
And during the council vote, we're going to pull out 4 cubes that represent their vote. And anytime there's a revolt, we remove all cubes from their bag and we reset it with 2 of each color besides purple.
Correct. And if ever there is a purple cube that comes out of the bag, they will be voting for their particular color that's represented on their rival card.
Right. And that is essentially the main difference in a two-player game. One other thing that we forgot to mention during the teach is, as you'll see, some of these hexes that we're going to be using to explore the rest of the galaxy here will provide us with 2 borders of the same color. And for those hexes, you actually gain 2 power in that faction instead of just 1. Otherwise, I think we are ready to get started with round 1. Are you ready?
Sure.
So then, for my first turn, I think I'm going to jump directly to my Class 3 ship. So you can place these out of order. And again, these Class 3 ships go in the intersection between 3 different hexes.
Okay.
So I am going to be exploring an unexplored hex.
Let's see what you got.
And you know, one thing we didn't mention is you can't just plop it out into space. It always has to be adjacent to one that's already been explored. So I'm going to just draw this top hex here.
Okay.
And it is yellow.
It's a juicy one.
So I can activate all 3 of these hexes in any order of my choosing. I'm just going to gain all of the influence now because none of them have white borders, which means they're all going to go directly into my tray. So I gain 2 green, 1 yellow, and a blue. And if at any time some of the colors are difficult to see, we will be calling them out loud. But just so you know, they've already made changes to the graphic design for the final version to make it easier to distinguish, especially the orange and yellow. All right, so then I'm going to go ahead and place these in my tray. And again, if you did not join us for the teach, we each got to start with 2 influence cubes of our own player color, which in my case is blue. I now also get to do 2 action card actions as well as a rider action. So I'm going to do the action cards first. I'm going to draw 2, and then I'm going to keep 1. So I'm going to go ahead and discard this one.
Okay.
This is going to go off, and then I'm going to do it again for my second action card action. So I'm going to take these 2, and I'll discard this one.
Okay, very good.
All right.
So you did this action,
Yeah.
this action, which is gather 2 action cards, discard 1, and then now you can do a rider action.
A rider action, which means I can draw 1 card. And now I have 2 in my hand, one that I started the game with, and I can choose to play one of them.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go ahead and play this rider card. This is Tenuous Relations, and I'm going to assign a blue cube to this. So it says the final vote count of blue is decreased by 2.
Oh.
So I figured it's the only
Thing you don't have power
it's the only
on.
thing I don't have power in, the only faction right now.
Interesting. Okay.
So I know it's kind of an aggressive first move because now nobody's going to want to place on blue, but it is what it is.
Sure.
And that is technically it, but I can trade. Naveen, I don't know if you're interested in trading.
Not yet.
You can only trade influence and favors. I could not trade away any of these cards, even though some of them give me temporary influence if I want to use them that way. And I can also choose to trade with a rival.
Sure.
But just so you know, any future trades are not binding. So
There you go.
all right.
I don't want to trade right now.
Okay, so we'll just wait a little bit, and so it goes to you.
Okay, I kind of want to go with the flow with the crew, so I'm gonna go here. I think I'm gonna just take my Class 3 ship and
okay.
line myself up there. So let's go ahead and explore. I'll just take from the middle section
middle?
as well. Yeah, why not?
There you go.
All right.
Good luck.
There we go. Look at that. Okay, so this is an interesting tile. It has no faction loyalty,
Yes.
but it just comes with a lot more influence.
This is a neutral tile, and sometimes the various cards will reference them.
Sure.
So that's important.
So what I'm going to gain out of this is 2 green influence,
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3 yellow influence, and 1 blue.
Is that 3 yellow?
Correct.
1, 2, 3, and 1
One
blue.
blue.
All right, there
There
you
we
go.
go.
And that's
Look at
all
that.
influence, no favors.
No favors, yeah. So unlike Monique, I will only get to take 2 different actions because this one does not come equipped with an action.
It does not. It does give you more
You
influence.
give me
so
one more
it's a bit of a
influence, yeah.
trade-off.
So let's just go ahead and start with the action that is drawing action cards. 1, 2, very good. And now let's go ahead and resolve the rider action. I'll go ahead and draw a card.
And then you're going to place 1 out.
Yeah. Interesting. I have the exact same card that you just played.
Oh, okay.
So we are going to decrease by 2. I'm going to make it the orange.
Orange.
And the reason for that is I have no power in orange. I have yellow, green, and then this is nothing. You have orange. So,
Aha.
so there we go. Any orange
Let's
votes
see.
are down by 2, just like blue.
Okay. Done? Or are you going to be doing any trading?
Do you want to trade anything? Do you have any blue? You have blue.
I have blue.
I will trade you 1 yellow for 1 blue.
1 yellow for 1 blue.
1 for 1.
Okay.
Yeah? 1 yellow influence? All right, for 1 blue.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Perfect.
That was great.
Okay.
Done?
That's it.
All right. So then it is back to me, and I'm just going to place out my class 1, and I'm just going to go boom. So this is yellow.
Okay.
I gain 1 green influence, and this is going to allow me to do the... Oh, no. No, wait. That's not...
Your intentions are been.
I guess I can just do it. It's
You're an
fine.
ambassador?
I'm going to do, yeah, I'll take an ambassador action.
Okay.
So this is what this allows me to do. I'm going to take an ambassador action and I'm going to recruit Bill Bendo here.
Okay.
Now, again, when taking this action, I can choose to discard any one influence in order to discard as many of these cards from the display and refill them. So that's kind of a way to get things moving a little bit.
Sure. I'm assuming you're not doing that though.
I am not, because I'm going to recruit Bill Bendo here, who will give me 1 additional green power just for the rest of the game. But I do have to spend a combination of 5 influence and power.
Okay.
Right now, it looks like I have
1 green power.
one green power.
Again, 1 green power because this ship right here, this is Monique's, is touching this 1 green hex, and it's a single border hex.
Okay. I'm going to play an action card.
Oh, okay.
This is Henko Liaison, and you can play this during your turn at any point. This says discount a Henko ambassador by 2.
Oh,
So I have to only spend 2 influence now because it's 2 plus the 1 power.
and the green faction is named Henko.
The green, yes, the green faction is Henko. So there's the 2 influence from my tray.
So it's
that I'll
normally
be
supposed to be
spending.
5 on the card.
Yes.
You got a 2 discount.
Correct.
So 1 is power plus the 2 cubes. There you go.
Yes. All right. So this is going to go ahead and get discarded.
Very good.
And now I have an ambassador. So
You have
these
2 points to your name.
I do.
2 prestige.
I do.
Because again, we have
Fear
a set
me.
collection. Set collection is very good for you. This display is very good for
This
you.
display is grand.
Nothing
so we
is
have
repeating green.
a new ambassador here.
Okay.
I think that is it for my turn. So now it goes back to you.
No trading?
No trading right now. I don't quite know what I want yet.
You're not feeling it?
So we'll see. I'm kind of scared about us not trading so much though, because they're going to just pull 4 cubes from their bag.
Okay, let's go ahead and send out my single class 1, and I'm
Okay.
just going to drop it on to this UA location.
Oh, interesting.
So I am going to get 2 purple favor. So that means these are not going to ever go into my possession. I have to trade these away. The good thing is our rival wants it. The rival pretty much always wants purple.
Okay. So one thing to note though, since you were talking about the yellow, you're gonna give if you're planning on giving the rival purple cubes, if they spend purple cubes during the vote, it's going to count as yellow because they are currently the yellow rival.
I'm not fully scared of yellow because I do have one.
okay.
I do have 1 in yellow.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
it does still
You know,
interest
I'm not
you.
like panicked about it at all.
Yes, that's right. We do not represent these different factions.
Yeah.
We sort of have our hand in several of their pots. So we'll see how it goes.
So before I do any trading, I'm going to take the action that's depicted here, and
Yeah.
that is going to be upgrading.
Okay.
So I have blue cubes, courtesy of Monique. In that trade that we did, so I'm going to spend, while blue is very invaluable right now, I want to spend it. So I'm going to spend 2 of these to
Okay.
upgrade my class 1 ship to a railgun.
Okay.
Okay, so these 2 are going to go back to
Thank
the
you.
supply. So if I was to upgrade it to a cargo, it would cost me 1.
Yeah.
But because I'm doing a railgun, it's
more
gonna
expensive.
cost me 2. And so this will now attach onto this. So now this has a 2 power from the rest of the game on. And so now I'm gonna go ahead and trade these 2 purple. I'm gonna trade with the rival. I'm gonna do.
You're not going to offer me anything?
No.
Might be willing to trade for purple.
I know, but you know I can get 1 for 1 here.
Okay.
What are you? Well, what are you willing to trade?
What do you want?
Anything. Well, name
Like,
something.
what if you got 1 for 2?
Throw something at me.
Nah, I guess that doesn't really benefit me
So,
that much.
so no. Okay. So I'm gonna definitely trade both of these so we can
Okay.
just do both transactions at once.
That's fine.
Save me a bag drop.
That's actually better for me.
Oh, is it?
Because I'm so heavily invested in yellow.
Again, because the rival is yellow. So if we were to pull out a purple cube, then it's gonna count as a vote towards yellow.
Correct.
So you know it works out for you.
What would you like in exchange for those? two?
Definitely 1 green,
1 green.
and then I'm gonna go with. I'll go with a yellow.
A yellow?
Yeah, I'll go with the yellow.
Oh,
Yeah.
we were just talking all that about yellow.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
to give it all away, to upgrade to the next one, it cost me 2 yellow.
Ah.
No matter what, if I ever want to upgrade again, I better have some purple or yellow.
All right, well, is that the end of your turn?
That's it.
Okay, so it goes back to me for my final ship placement, and I also would like to upgrade.
Okay.
So here's my class 2 ship. I'm going to go up this way.
Okay.
And
Revelation.
do I go left or right? I'll go left.
Okay.
This is,
Oh,
it's
an
orange. Okay,
Oh,
so I have an
orange
option.
favor.
I have an option between two different actions here. So I am going to gain 4 favor cubes.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be 2 purple and 2 orange.
Sure.
And I get to do an upgrade action, and then I can choose between a on recruit an ambassador or drawing 2 action cards and keeping 1. So let me do my upgrade first because I too have enough to do that. Unlike Naveen's blue, my upgrades cost yellow. For the first upgrade. So I'm gonna do a railgun as well. So it's gonna cost me 2 yellow influence.
Okay.
So there's that. The railgun is gonna go on this class 1 ship, which is now gaining me an additional power in yellow.
So your total yellow power right now is 1, 2. With the railgun, that makes that 3.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's unfortunate that we have a rider here that will decrease the final vote count of orange because I now have 2 orange power as well.
You do.
So, what do I want to do here? Do I want to recruit an ambassador or take action cards? I have 2 power in orange.
You have 3 yellow.
I have 3 yellow, but I would have to spend 2 yellow influence if so.
Well, you have purple to trade with the rival.
Let's see what this does. This yellow recruit card says spend 1 yellow influence to move your class 1 ship to an adjacent hex. That could be really useful in the late game. Okay, I'm probably going to recruit an ambassador, but before I do that, I would like to trade these away.
Okay.
I would like to do what you did. So I'm going to put these 2 Cerealia cubes with the rival so that I can exchange it for one of my choice, and I believe they will both be yellow.
Yeah.
So that I can now take the recruit action to recruit this ambassador. So again, the cost is 5 influence and power, and right now I have 1, 2, 3 power in yellow, so I only have to pay 2 influence for this card. And I can spend a yellow influence to move specifically my class 1 to a different hex, an adjacent hex.
Yeah.
It has to be an adjacent one. But I also have this for endgame scoring.
And I believe you just move it. It's not like you move it and then take actions or collect resources. It's just so that you can have power in a different location.
Correct. It does not re-trigger anything. So that is the recruit action. And I think I've taken both of my actions, but I do still have these orange cubes, Naveen.
You do.
What do you think? The rival is not interested because I would need to turn in a 3rd to gain 1.
I'll give you 1 yellow for
1 yellow for 2 orange. Okay.
You'll do it?
Was that easy?
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
All right.
1 yellow for 2 orange.
Very good.
And that is it. Those are all of my ships. I am done trading.
You
so then it goes back to you for your final placement.
All right. So you're not going to play any action cards, right? This is the time maybe you want to do it if...
I think I'm good. So then.
All right. So now I know your power right now. So this, you have 1, 2, 3 yellow. You have 1 green. And then you have 1, 2 orange.
Yes.
And that's it?
That's
so you have no blue.
I have no blue.
So there's no reason for me to try to make blue a thing because you're never going to vote for them, I'm thinking. And it's -2 to blue.
Right.
Okay, let's go ahead and place this out. And I'm just going to put myself into this little corner over here.
Okay.
So this means I'm going to be taking the
rider.
The rider action.
All right, left, middle, or right?
Well, I'm going to do something a little bit different.
Oh.
I'm going to be playing this card, this Voyager's Bounty. When exploring, draw 2 hexes and place 1, discard the other to the bottom of any stack.
Oh, okay.
So let's just take 2 from the very first stack. Why not?
This one?
Yeah.
All right, so you get to decide which one's going to go there. I like that because you can sort of control which faction that you'll have power in.
Okay, let's toss this to the bottom of the same stack, the first stack, and then I'm just going to tuck this one here. This is a yellow.
Oh.
What timing for yellow?
What timing?
That's fantastic, knowing that you want yellow, and there's a bunch of purple that's going to go with yellow. So I'm going to get 1 yellow cube and then also 1 blue cube as influence.
Yes.
They do not have the white border, so I do get to keep these in my possession.
Right.
All right.
Oh, you're going to do 2 rider actions.
Yeah, so let's resolve 1 at a time. So these are the exact same thing. So I'm going to draw 1.
Okay.
And then make a decision. Okay, I'm going to do this one. It's called reassignment order. This one basically says whatever cube color I put on there can be used as any cube while voting. So I'm going to go ahead and place this one here, and then I'm just going to say blue. Let's put blue on there, yeah.
Nice.
Seeing as I just gained a blue.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, and for your second rider action, are you going to take it, or are you going to take a purple favor?
I'm going to take a purple favor.
Oh,
so I'm not going to draw this card. I will take a purple favor, and then I will trade it
to the rival?
To the rival.
Okay, what would you like in return?
You know, knowing that blue can be any vote, let's make it blue.
Okay.
Yeah, blue's pretty wild.
It turned it purple, kind of.
Yeah.
With the exception that purple, when used for voting, counts as 2 votes in that faction color, whereas blue can still be a wild, but it'll still just be 1.
We're going to play another card. So I have alternative Arrival. So on your turn, move your class 1 ship to an adjacent hex. Knowing that you're going to want to make yellow happen, there's a ton of purple in here. I'm going to go ahead and just move myself onto this hex right over there.
Oh my gosh.
So because the railgun's there, I have 1, 2, and then this one is touching this yellow. So it's 3. Make that 4 right there
Wow.
for the yellow power.
That was unexpected.
I'm not done with my turn. I'm going to go ahead and
My
play
goodness.
the Ambassador Conference. On your turn, take an Ambassador action.
Okay.
So I'm looking at me having 1, 2, 3, 4 on the yellow. So it's only going to cost me 1 yellow cube.
Do you have that cube?
Yes.
For Myla
Take it. Boom.
Distra.
Yeah.
So this ambassador says orange can be used as yellow.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's nice. So
Yeah.
if you have a bunch of orange. But anyway, that is an ambassador
Orange
for you.
is yellow. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
And then we're going to go ahead and refill with a purple. Once per turn, 1 Cerealia cube can be spent to take an upgrade action. Once per turn? Wow, that's
Just
strong.
have to have purple. Okay, so that'll wrap it up for me.
All right, that is it. So we are now going to move on to the council votes phase of the first round. So the way that this works is we are going to place these trays on our player trays, and we're going to secretly vote for the 2 factions that we would like to see win.
Okay.
Now we can vote for as many as we'd like to,
Sure.
but you have to vote with the same colored faction cube, with the exception of the purple cubes, which again will count as 2 for the faction that you vote for, and we're going to simultaneously reveal them. Now, after we reveal them, they're not going to be finalized until we take into consideration the riders as well as any action cards, etc.
So let's just make sure we go over the rider cards before we go into a vote, so that way
Okay.
we don't make any mistakes.
So we have 2 tenuous relations cards, which say the final vote count of the blue and the orange factions will be decreased by 2.
So they're in -2 right
They're
now.
in negative
Negative
two.
2 votes.
We were very mean to those factions. But we also have reassignment order here that says that blue cubes can be used as any color while voting.
Yes.
So that is nice.
So let's just make sure we understand each other's power. Your orange is 1, 2.
Yes.
You have 2 orange, and then you have 1, 2 with a railgun, 3 yellow, and then you have 1 green.
Right.
Okay. And then for me, we already established 4 yellow, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then with my green, it's going to be 1, 2.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm only in for yellow and green.
Yellow and green is what you want.
Okay.
Yes. That is right. Anything else
Anything else is useless.
will not work.
All right.
Okay, let's vote. Ready?
Yes.
All right. 1, 2, 3, reveal.
All green.
All green.
Yeah, I'll let you do the voting for yellow.
I just did 1
yeah, perfect.
because I figured, well, this is not
it's not
finalized because
finalized.
we must now draw 4 cubes from the rival bag
Oh,
because
there's one.
they also have a say.
Popped out.
You gonna go with this?
No,
Let's just
well,
draw that. Just
go
draw
ahead.
4 at the same time.
All right, we have 4.
Oh.
Ooh, there we go. Nice.
So this is going to be yellow,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
it's 3 yellow.
3 yellow, 1 orange.
And actually, for the rival, the purples also count as 2.
Yes.
So this is 2, 3, 4 for
4.
yellow.
Okay.
So it's 4 for yellow. We have
5 for yellow.
5 for
So
yellow
it's
right
5 for
now.
yellow.
We have 3
for
for
green.
green. 1, 2, 3 minus 2 for orange. So that's 1.
1.
But we can still use ambassador abilities
Uh-huh.
as well as playing action cards. If you have any action cards that you can use that'll manipulate council votes, we can play them now as well.
Okay.
And then we'll assign them.
Okay. Are you
So
gonna play anything?
well, it's ambassador abilities first.
Sure.
This gains me an additional power in green, so I guess I don't really mind so much.
Sounds
if
good for
green
you.
Wins, and then this is during the round. I could
Okay.
spend a yellow cube. Are you going to play any action cards? I will not.
No.
Okay, well then that's it. We have the final totals.
Okay.
So it looks like was it yellow? Yellow scored
with 5 total.
Yellow scored first.
Yep.
So they're going to be in the first position with a 3x multiplier.
Yeah. So for
And-
me, it's 3 times 4.
Yes.
So I'm going to get 12. And then you have, what did we say it was? You had 3, right? It's going to be 1, 2, 3. So you get 9 points there.
9 points.
Okay.
And the green faction was second. So it's 2 points as the multiplier for this first round.
So what's your green now? Because you had a card that gives you +1.
Okay, my green is 1, right?
+1.
Plus 1.
So
So
two.
2.
2
2
times two?
times 2 is 4.
4, so you're going to go to 13.
13.
And then mine is 1, 2 times 2 is also 4. So
Four.
we're gonna go
Uh-oh.
16.
That is bad.
That's good. Well, the difference is 3, but you're making it up in ambassador cards right now.
Now, one thing that we didn't mention during the teach is all cubes voting for the winning factions, which in this case are yellow and green, will go back into the supply. All other cubes we will get to keep.
Sure.
So yellow.
So you get your 2 blue back.
I do get my 2
Yeah.
blue. Where is the 1 yellow that I used to vote here?
It went into the winning faction.
Oh,
so it's gone.
I see.
Yeah,
Oh,
so those
you,
are gone.
You combined it. Okay, so these are going to get discarded.
Right.
It was also, these 2 I get to keep.
They come back to you. This will go back into the rival's bag, and then my 3 that I voted on green, they are going to get discarded.
Yes.
Back to the supply.
There you go. All right.
Well, there you
we
go.
have successfully completed our first council vote.
Sure.
And now we'll do the rest of Underground steps. So all of these will go into the supply, and we're going to go ahead and discard these cards.
Clean that up.
We also take back our ships so that we can place them out again in the second round. And first player is going to rotate. So for the second round, Naveen will be first player. Now, this rule has been changed for the final edition of the game, and so in the final copy, in order to take first player, you'll have to go to the middle hex. But for this gameplay, we're just going to be rotating.
Okay, we go into round 2. I'm going to be first player this round, and we need to see what the rival is favoring this round.
All
It is
right.
going to be blue.
Okay, so they will be accepting 1 purple or 2 blue, or again, 3 of any color, and it's always going to be in exchange for 1 non-purple color from the supply.
Yep.
Okay, so go ahead, Naveen. You are first.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to go on a little gathering mission here. So I'm going
Okay.
to send out my class 3 onto this location.
Oh.
So I'm going to be touching both yellow and orange. I'm going to collect 2 green, 1 blue. But first, let's see what tile is
Any
going to come over.
preference?
Take anything.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, good
Yeah,
luck.
Thanks. We go. Okay, this is a big collection.
Okay.
All right. So, this is great because blue is what they're looking for.
So no power on
No
this.
power.
This is a neutral hex, but you do gain a lot of
a lot of
influence.
reasons. So I get 1, 2, 3 influence in blue, and then 2 in green.
1, 2,
No, sorry, 3 in green.
yes, 3 blue and 3 green. So we are running low-ish on green.
Low-ish on green, you say?
Yes, which can force a revolt if we run out of a single color.
You could. The actions depicted are going to be action cards. So
Mm-hmm.
let's just resolve one and then the other afterwards. So 1. Okay, I'm going to discard this card.
Okay.
And then now let's do it again for the other action spot. 1, 2. And I will discard this card over here.
Okay.
All right, that's it for me. I'm not going to, I don't think I'm going to try to trade anything.
No trading.
No.
All right. Well, then it goes to me, and I'm going to go ahead and place out my class 2 ship.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to go here.
Okay.
So
The unknown.
the unknown, one
see.
unexplored hex.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with this one. And
Ooh,
this is
there
a
we go.
double hex. This is a double yellow.
Double yellow power.
Actually.
Yeah.
So right now I have 2 power in yellow and 1 power in blue.
Okay.
I'm going to gain 2 yellow favor cubes because it has that white outline, as well as 1 orange. And that is going to be straight influence. And the only action I'll be able to take is drawing 2 action cards and keeping 1 because
You want to do that?
this one doesn't. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. This doesn't provide any additional benefit other than the +1 power.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and discard this one.
Okay. So
So
this
that
one
goes out. So now I have 2 yellow favor tokens here, Naveen.
see
Are you
that.
interested in them?
I'll trade you 1 blue for those 2 yellow.
You'll give me 1 blue?
A single blue for those 2 yellow.
Why blue?
Why not?
I need orange. Do you have orange?
I might. Can you sweeten the pot with anything? Can we
1
do it?
orange, 2 yellow.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right,
Fantastic.
there's
So
1
1
orange to
orange
you.
for 2 yellow.
So
Thank
this is the
you.
forced trading. So now I
Okay.
have a couple more things.
So I have that. Yeah, okay. I think that's it for my turn.
Okay,
So
you're gonna
now
stick
it
with
goes
that?
back to you. Yeah.
Okay, I want to diversify a little bit. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to get involved in some of this blue over here as well. So I'll place my 2, class 2 over there. So I'm going to get 1 green and 1 orange influence.
There you go.
There you go. So nothing outwardly forced to trade. And then the actions I'm going to be able to take is going to be ambassador and drawing cards. Let's go ahead and draw some action cards first because maybe that'll influence what I do. Okay, I'll go ahead and discard this card, keep the other one. I'm going to spend a yellow cube and I want to wipe some of these cards.
Oh, okay.
So let's go ahead and wipe everything except the blue.
Okay, so these
Yeah.
3.
Those 3.
All right.
Off
so
they go.
these will get
Those will
discarded.
go out. This will be my yellow to wipe it.
And then we're going to get 3 new
Three
cards.
newbies,
So we have a
yes.
green. This is Royal Al Ren. Spend 1 green to move your class 1 to an adjacent hex.
Very similar to yours, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have FT 1000. Once per turn, 1 Cerealia can be spent to take a rider action.
Okay.
And Vanta Sai. Once per turn, 1 Cerealia can be spent to take an action card action.
Ooh,
So-
okay.
similar.
All right. So now that is the new availability, I'm going to go ahead and play this card. Discount a Henko or a green one ambassador by 2.
Okay.
So right now it's going to cost me 5 because I have no power out here. So it's going to be -2, so it's only going to cost me, oh, I'm making a mess. It's going to cost me 1, 2, and 3. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
All right. So this one is...
So now I have this, and then now I can spend a green cube to move to an adjacent hex with my small class 1.
Nice.
All right.
All right, so we have Ryan Rogel here as +1 orange power.
Okay.
Okay. That's it.
That's that.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and put out my class 1 here.
Oh, so you're confirming
And
yellow.
so this is the one that I'm going to get 2 yellow favor, and it increases my power by 1.
It does,
So this is 3, and this is 4, 5.
5.
Because it's 2
Oh, yeah,
yellow
yeah.
power for that one.
So each ship is touching the 2 power, so it's 2 plus 2 plus the 1 for the railgun. Okay, I gotcha.
And this tile has no associated actions, so I'm just going to trade. Naveen, would you like to give me anything?
Give you anything, huh?
Yeah. Do you have 1 yellow?
You want 1 yellow for 2 yellow?
Yeah.
What if I give you
1 yellow for 2 yellow.
1 for 2?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You know what? I'll take you up on that.
Thank
1 for 2.
Nice.
Okay.
Everybody
okay.
wins.
Yeah, a little
All
bit.
right. That is me. So now it's back to you.
Okay, last one, huh? All right, I'm going to move my class 1 onto this space here.
Oh, okay.
So this is going to be just a gathering mission here. So I'm going to get 2 blue, 1 green influence. So I'll take all that.
There you go.
And then I have some cards that I'm going to want to play.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and do this now. So I'm going to play Junkyard Scavenge. On your turn, take an upgrade action.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let me get rid of this. And I'm going to upgrade this to the mill section here. It's going to cost me 2 yellow.
Okay.
So those are the 2 yellow that I had to play.
Nice.
All right. And then I have another card that I want to play. And it's going to be Ambassador's Conference. On your turn, take an ambassador action. And then I'm seeing that blue one right there. So
Green can be used as blue.
yes.
There we go.
So I'm going to go ahead and take that. So my total power right now is just 1 blue right here. So then I'm going to pay an extra 4. Yikes. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. And then now I have this. So now I'm almost there at a set, at a full set.
You have a third. So right now
have a
that is
third.
scoring you 10 points.
10 points right there, yeah.
All right. So then we are going to go ahead and refill with Dana Poalki.
Okay.
It says spend 1 orange to move your class 1 to an adjacent
Okay.
hex.
Speaking of that, I'm going to use my my green one. Spend 1 green cube to move to an adjacent hex.
Okay.
So this is why I wanted to go there to get out. So I'm going to spend 1 green, and then what are we saying? Yellow is probably going to win this.
If you vote,
Because
you
you're
didn't
done.
vote last time. So
I didn't last time.
If I don't vote this time,
I know.
it would be pretty bad. I
It
think
is what
for
it
me,
is.
but-
Though. Yeah.
All right. Are you done?
Yep.
Okay. So then it's back to me, and I'm going to place out my class 3
Oh,
here.
you're confirming yellow's going to win, huh?
So I
I think I
guess
should tank it.
let's see.
Ooh.
Ooh, it's
you at?
red. Oh my goodness.
You
Okay.
get to trade with the
Yeah.
rival.
So
you
I'm
get,
going to gain a yellow and a blue.
Yep. Yellow, blue goes to you. Those are influence because it's black bordered. White bordered is 2 purple as favors.
2 purple as favors. Okay. And then I have these 3 actions. So it's 2 rider cards and an upgrade.
Would you need orange?
Oh yeah, actually I
Yeah.
do have that.
2 orange.
I'm gonna take the upgrade action, which
Okay.
is this. I'm gonna move it
Did
up
you want
here.
to trade first, or are you
I'm
going to just do
paying
it right now?
The 2 orange. Well, I need the 2 orange regardless, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna do 1 rider card action
At a time,
So
yeah.
draw 1. Oh, and I'm gonna put this into play. This is Gossamer Payout. I'm gonna assign it the yellow faction cube, and now it says if you vote at least 3 yellow cubes, you score 4 prestige. So it is a bit of an incentive
No.
here, I will admit. In addition, I get to do it again because there's two rider actions. I'm going to draw another one, and I'm going to play this card. This is Exile Inclusion. I'm going to assign yellow to it, and now it says the purple votes cast for yellow are increased by 1. So
Okay.
if you turn in a purple cube to represent yellow, it's increased by 1.
You're just making sure yellow wins.
That's the attempt.
ultimate plan.
That's the plan. I don't know if yellow will win, but we all have to do our best.
They're going to be fine.
I have 2 purple tokens, which I think it's a bit risky because now purple represents
blue. Yeah.
And I mean, I guess I'm the. Oh no, we're both on
I'm in
blue.
blue, yeah.
So it is definitely risky. But giving these to you is also risky anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and give
So
them
you're
both.
tossing them in there, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
I think
take.
we only pulled out 1 purple last time.
I'm taking 2
Just
yellow.
remember that.
Taking 2 yellow.
There you go.
And I believe that is it. That is the end of my turn, and I believe that's the end of the round. So
Voting time.
we're gonna do some voting.
All right.
All right, so go ahead and grab your tray. All right, ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Reveal.
Reveal.
All right. Oh, you voted a green, huh?
I did.
A single green.
I voted a green.
All right.
We
Yeah.
need to reveal 4.
So let me just make something clear. The reason why I placed an orange here is because Mila Distra, I can use orange as yellow.
Oh, okay. So
Okay,
it's
so-
wild for you. Oh, no.
right.
It's specifically for yellow.
For yellow, yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to pull out 4 from the bag. All right, we have 4. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Whoa.
Whoa.
Well,
Okay.
Looks like blue it is.
So right now we have 2, 4, 6
For
votes for
blue,
blue
because-
because
yep.
purple is worth 2 votes in the current rival card's color.
Mm-hmm.
So 6 blue, we have 1, 2 green,
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7.
7?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's yellow, right?
Yeah, wow.
7 yellow. So right now, as it stands, yellow is winning, followed by blue.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a little bit surprising. But we can now use any ambassador abilities. Mine just says I have an additional power in green. And we can play any action cards from our hand. So it's in turn order. Would you like to do that?
No, I won't.
Okay, neither will I.
Okay.
So we have our winners. It
Yeah.
looks like first place is yellow.
Yep.
So this is going to go here, and it's a 4 times multiplier. Let's just go ahead and discard.
All the cubes that we
These
used.
votes now,
Okay, so
yeah.
this one except for that one.
Yeah, this one is
Orange.
Orange. And then the second one
Is
is
blue.
blue.
Because all those purples we tossed in.
Yeah, all of the purples. So blue is going to be a 2x multiplier. All other cubes we can
You
keep.
retain. So this one is from them, right? This goes back in the bag?
That wasn't yours?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't vote for green.
And that's it. So let's go ahead and score our power. So for yellow, you have
1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
4 times 4, 16.
16.
16 plus 16 goes to 32.
32.
There we go.
Okay, and my yellow is 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6,
Yes.
right? So 24. 24 plus 13.
24
So
plus
35.
So 35. Oh, look at that.
All right.
Come on.
And then blue, I think we
We
might
both
have,
have
the same.
one each.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have
one each.
So
Okay.
it's just 2 points
2
each.
points each. Okay, so you're going to go to 37. I'm going to go to 34.
Yes.
Yee.
And let's go ahead and finish cleanup. So these are going to get discarded
Take 'em
now.
out. Yep.
We'll take back our ships. Oops. And that's it, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So then we just reset. So you're going to be first player.
We're now going into the final round, so we do need a new rival. So
Yes.
can you go ahead and flip
okay,
that over?
So we know it's not blue or yellow. It's going to be green.
Ah.
Green this time.
Okay, that's kind of nice. And just like the other ones, they accept purple or 2 green or 3 of any color. I'm going to go ahead and start by putting out my class 2 ship, and I think I'm going to go here.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
So it's going to be 2 yellow
2 yellow.
as
yeah.
favors and 1 blue. That goes to me.
It's true.
And I can also take a rider action. So I'm going to go ahead and draw one.
Okay.
And I'm going to put this rider card into play. This is charting provision, and I'm assigning a green
Okay.
power to it. And this says the neutral power. So any of the neutral hexes, they will score as if it was power in green.
Whoa.
So if you
They will
place
score as if there's power in green, huh?
yes. So now these are not for this round only. These are not considered neutral.
So
these are
greens
green.
now, huh?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. Well, that kind of changed my decision making. Wow. Knowing that, I think I'm going to go ahead and just place myself in this
Oh wait,
corner.
oh sorry. I'm not.
Oh,
I
sorry.
just realized I still have these.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Naveen,
Yeah.
what do you think? These are really valuable because at the end of the game, they're going to score at least 1 point.
They
because
are.
Yellow has won twice. If yellow wins a third time,
I'll trade you a blue cube.
these would be 2 prestige per
2 each,
in your
yeah.
supply. So you're going to trade me 1 blue cube
Yeah.
for 2 yellow?
Yeah, what do you think?
What would I do with that?
I don't know.
What about green?
1 green for
What
2.
are your thoughts on green?
1 green for 2 yellow?
You wouldn't happen to do 2 for 2, would you?
No.
No?
No.
Fine. Okay, let's do it.
All right, so
This does feel, I
1
don't know,
green for that.
feels like I shouldn't do it.
You did it.
Oh, I did it. All right.
All right, like I was saying, I'm
back
gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna give it a go. I want to see something else.
You're gonna
knowing
explore
that,
twice?
Yeah, let's explore these 2.
Okay.
Let's go the backside, double on the
Here?
backside. Yeah.
All
let's
right.
do it.
Well, you
1,
can put these down in any order of your
2.
choosing.
All right. Let's just.
But there you
flip
go.
them over. Ooh, a blue one. Ooh, with the little
With the riders.
rider. And then another.
Wow. So you
this
are
little
all in.
negotiation blue.
blue
Apparently.
here.
Yeah. Okay. So I will take the 1 orange influence. Or sorry, the 1 yellow influence.
Oh, actually, you get 3, right?
Oh yeah.
1, 2,
1, 2, 3.
So 3
That's a
yellow.
That's great.
And 1 blue. And
blue.
again, these graphic designs have already been changed in terms of the coloring.
Correct,
And
yeah.
some of the symbols as well. So you get those for your supply, but you also gain 2 blue.
2 blue goes
in
here
favors.
in favor.
So
All
there you
right.
go. What are you thinking?
Uh,
Well, you do have actions.
I do have some
so
actions.
if you
Let's
wanna
do the
this.
rider first. Let's
Okay.
make a decision. Sorry.
Okay.
Do you mind cleaning that up for me? I'm sorry. Okay, seeing as I'm blue, I'm going to put this one, Exile Inclusion.
Okay.
So this one basically says purple votes are cast as an increase of 1. So
So purple votes cast for blue.
for blue,
Is what you're saying.
yeah,
Okay.
will be increased by 1.
Okay.
Okay,
Very
and then I
good.
still have one of these 2 actions. I will take 2 action cards. I'd like to see a little bit more.
Okay.
I'll get rid of this card right here.
Okay.
Yep.
Done with your actions?
With the printed actions, I do have action cards, but I want
Okay.
to see if we can resolve some trade.
Okay. Blue.
Blue, talk
What
to
do
me.
you?
Just name something. Maybe we can work something out.
1 green.
1 green.
Yes.
What do you got going on with green over here?
Green is good. I don't know actually.
Let's see, how much is left in the tray? There 5, 6. My fear with green is then you can also trade. You can use that green to trade here, and I don't know if I want to give that to you.
Okay.
So I think instead I am going to trade with a rival. I'm going to give him 3 cubes.
Okay.
1, 2, and 3.
Oh,
1
interesting.
green.
You're giving them the 1 green.
Yeah. Instead of you having the green, I don't want you to have the green.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2,
So
3.
what would you like in return?
I'll take an orange, please.
An orange.
Yes.
All right. There you go.
Thanks, rival. That's it for me. I'm not going to play any action cards.
All right. So then it is back to me, and I'm going to send out my class 3 ship, and I think I'm going to place them here.
It's a good spot.
So this is going to be 1, 2 green as influence, and then 3 yellow and a blue.
Careful now with the yellow.
I know.
How much left in
And
there?
a blue.
Are we
Let's
going to have a
see.
revolt?
Well, we have 3 blue and there's a few
okay,
more yellow
okay,
actually.
okay.
It's the blue that we
Blue's
should be
the
worried
scary
about.
one.
Okay, so that's all an influence. And then I can take action cards. So I'm gonna do that. I think that's action, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna draw 2.
You do action cards, and you get to do the rider
The
cards as
rider. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and discard this.
Getting rid
And
of
I'll do the rider action now as well.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put this rider card into play. This is Mandible Fortification. And I'm assigning green to it. And this is saying the final vote count of green is increased by 2.
Final vote count of green increased by 2. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So that's it. We only have space for 1 last rider card. Okay, it goes to you.
All right, I'm going to put out my class 2 ship here in this in between. So it's just going to be a lot of stuff to trade. So
Oh.
2 purple,
Exciting.
Yeah.
2 orange.
2 purple, 2 orange.
And these are all favors.
They are.
There you go.
Okay, so these are all going to go to the front side here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and trade these 2 purple to the bag.
Oh, okay.
Not with you. And I'm going
What?
to
I
grab.
could give you 2 of a color.
Well, you
for the
could,
purple.
You could.
That's
I'll take
always the
2
option.
orange.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And then, did you want to trade anything for these oranges?
I'll give you 1 blue.
You'll give me 1 blue for 2 orange?
Yeah.
You want to sweeten the pot a little bit?
Nope.
No?
1 blue, 2 orange.
1 blue, 2 orange. What are you doing with blue? I begrudgingly will say
All right.
fine.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
Okay.
So for this one, I am going to go ahead and do the ambassador. And
Okay.
so I have power on 1 orange. And then I'm going to spend
Which one?
these 4 orange cubes. Can you read both of them to me if you don't mind?
Okay, so Ryan says +1
Orange
power.
Okay.
And Dana is spend 1 orange cube to move your class 1 ship.
Seeing
to
as I'm
adjacent.
about to spend a ton of orange, let's take the first one. So I have
So-
a +1 power of orange. So now I've completed an entire set.
Oh, yes, you have.
So
Uh-oh.
that's good. Yeah,
Nice,
that
good
feels
job.
better. Okay.
Yellow, it's a yellow recruit. Nella Vandeval
Okay.
says, after taking the action card action, take 2 yellow cubes from the general supply. Wow.
And for the upgrade action, I don't know if we talked about this in the teach, but the other alternative action that you can take, very similar to the action card, the rider, and the ambassadors, is you can switch out any 2 of your influence for another 2 from the supply that's not the purple. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to switch out 2 green
Okay,
for 2 blue.
for 2 blue.
Yeah.
Are you trying to cause a revolt? Are you trying to cause a revolt?
I don't know, maybe.
It's honestly not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. Are you done with your turn?
That's it, yep.
Okay, so then, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and place out my class 1 over here.
Interesting.
So I'm going to gain 1 green and 2 blue influence from the supply. I take 1, and now it's empty, so that causes a revolt. We all have to discard down half of our blue cubes, rounded up.
So I have 5, so I'm going to give back 3.
Okay.
What do you got?
I also have 5 and giving back 3.
Okay.
And then the rivals bag gets
yeah,
emptied.
Emptied, and we basically reset it.
Yeah. We basically
So
reset
all
it.
these purples go away. And then we should only have 2 blue, 2 green, 2 orange, and then now we need 2 yellow from the supply.
And 2 yellow.
We have a revolt.
We had a revolt.
Oh,
and I
look
get
at
to
you.
take 1 more blue.
You do,
because
from the
that was
supply.
what I was owed.
Yeah, because
Yes.
after the revolt, the active player continues to take their turn till they get their total amount.
Right.
So this is still a green, right? Yeah.
Yes, that is green. Now I'm also going to play some action cards from my hand. So this is Junkyard Scavenge. It says on your turn, take an upgrade action.
Okay.
So I'm playing this. I'm going to upgrade my class 2.
Okay.
Actually. So I have to spend 2 orange cubes.
Okay.
To move this
the
over to the left.
We'll
so
spend it over here.
places.
How
Oh,
about that?
sorry.
No worries.
It places a cargo piece on my class 2, which can be taken retroactively. So that means I gain 1 blue influence and 2 yellow favors. So these are going to become favors.
2 yellow favors, you say.
And then I'm going to play this card. This is Ambassador Conference. On your turn, take an ambassador action.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm first going to spend 1 blue influence in order to wipe, I think, the whole thing.
Yeah, get rid of them.
I'm just going to discard all 4 of these.
Sure.
And we'll just have a new selection.
Fresh set. Let's see
A
what
fresh
you got.
set of recruits, ambassador recruits.
There you
Okay,
go.
so we have 1 of every
One of
color
everything, yeah.
essentially here. I can...
So green and yellow don't really score you as many points as the orange or the blue.
Okay, I'm going to recruit the yellow one. Just
Okay.
because I know it is less points, but it's kind of the one that I can afford.
Sure.
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 power in yellow.
You do?
And I'm going to play an action card
To
as a
represent the
fifth
yellow. So it's 5.
to
Okay.
represent the yellow, so that I don't have to discard anything.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and take,
What
at
does it
least
say?
they are 2 prestige points.
Plus
This
1
is-
yellow power.
Yeah, plus 1 yellow power. It's called the Mar.
Oh.
They're helpful.
So you have how much power then? 1, 2, 3, 4 right now? 5?
5.
Ooh.
So we have a new ambassador.
Yikes, yikes, yikes.
This is Namari.
Okay.
Yellow can be used as green. I will spend 1 yellow cube. That is the power of this ambassador here.
To move?
my class 1 ship to an adjacent hex.
I think I
So
know where you're
that's
going.
1 yellow. I'm going to move them here.
Yes, you are.
And then
Shoot.
I need to trade these.
Trade.
So
What do you want?
What do we do?
You tell me.
Do I just give this to the rival? It helps seed their bag with a little bit more yellow
That's
also?
the thing, yeah. To make sure.
Yes, I'm going to give the rival the 2 yellow favor plus 1 green influence
2
from
yellow
my
and a green.
from my supply. And
Okay.
in exchange,
What are
I'm
you
going
gonna
to
take?
take a yellow influence.
How many yellow are left in there?
There are 2.
Ooh.
2 yellow.
So if I go here, then I can cause a revolt?
If you go there, you would deplete the yellow, but the revolt doesn't happen until you need to take
Need to
more
take.
yellow. Yeah.
Okay, what I'll do is I will move out onto this spot with my class 1.
Okay.
So I'm going to gain myself a blue.
There you go, and that counts as 2 yellow power for you.
It does, yeah. And then now I can go ahead and do a rider action. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll grab 1 card.
Okay, this for this final spot.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. Vilonia Collusion.
Okay.
Whatever cube I put on there, UA power will score as if it was power in that particular color.
Oh, interesting. So,
So-
it's just you.
Just me, yeah. So that's why I had that in my hand for a while. So that's why I was very comfortable putting this here, knowing that at some point I can put this out. So I know you're all in on orange.
I'm
so
I'm all in on
or yellow.
yellow.
Sorry, yellow. So let's go ahead and make it yellow.
Yellow?
Yeah.
Okay. Smart. All right.
Yeah. It's not over. So I'm going to spend 1 green cube to move my class 1 to an adjacent hex.
Okay.
So there we go. And now we are going to move this one over here. So now this is going to be worth 1, 2, 3,
3 yellow.
and then 4 right there for that one because this will represent yellow.
Wow, you did it again.
Got into position.
You turned tides so quickly, Naveen. What in the world?
We'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens when it
It's like one
scores.
turn, and I believe
That's
is
all the
it,
ships, yeah.
right? That is the end of the third round, technically, and we're going to go ahead and go into the council vote.
Yes.
So, for the last time, let's go ahead and get out our trays.
Do you want to count up where our power is so that way we make sure we don't make any mistakes?
Sure. Looks like you have.
That's
you
gonna
said this
represent
is
yellow.
Yellow. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4
Yep.
yellow. You have 1 orange.
Yep.
You have 1, 2 blue.
And 1 green.
And 1 green because neutral powers score as if it was green.
Yeah.
All right. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
Wow.
yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, you also have 1 orange
Oh,
power.
there we go.
Additional.
Perfect. That makes
to
that. Yeah.
So I have 6 yellow. I have 1, 2, 3 green. And I think that's it.
So you're
Right?
all
I'm
in
just
on green.
yellow and green. Yes.
Interesting.
Just so you know, maybe we shouldn't have gotten over that.
Very
Anywho,
interesting.
let's go ahead and cast our votes, but also keep in mind that the winning factions, you're going to have to discard those influence. But at the end of the game, you score additional prestige for any of the factions that you've seen multiple times,
Right.
win multiple times. So definitely yellow. For any leftover, you're going to score at least 1 point. If yellow wins again, then it'll be 2 prestige
points each.
per cube. All right, ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, go.
All
I'm
blue.
so worried. You
I
went
just went
all
blue.
in on blue?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, what's going on right now? Well, we gotta see.
Let's see what
figure it out after.
the
You want to give
rival.
a little shake?
Okay.
You can do the one.
Oh, me?
Pull out 4.
All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Drop it. Oh boy.
What is that?
Oh, it's a little
This is
diversity.
orange. Oh, this is one of each.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that was not ideal. So
Basically counts each other out. Yeah.
looks like blue is 4, right?
Yes, blue has 4.
Blue has 4. Yellow has 3.
Oh my gosh.
Green has 3, and orange has 1. But really, the green, the final count is increased by 2. So green has 5.
Green has 5, so green is the winner.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no, what have I done?
Look what you did.
I was so worried that I'm going downtown real
Good.
fast.
Okay. Well,
Hold on. You can still play cards.
Okay.
Because right now, as it stands, green is the winner, followed by blue, right?
Is it blue?
Green.
How many does yellow have? 3
Yellow?
votes?
Yellow has 3 and blue has 4.
Blue has 4. What are you gonna do, Monique?
Nothing. Are you?
Wait, what's your yellow count here? What's your power on yellow? 1, 2,
It's a
3,
lot.
4, 5.
Yeah.
Do you have a card that also is 6? Does it make it?
6.
You have
Yeah.
6?
I made a mistake.
I'm not doing anything.
I held back. Okay, this is what happened. I held back a cube because I got greedy, thinking, well, I need to hold back something so that I can score the 2 prestige.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have, because had I voted with it, it would have been a tie, and the tiebreaker is at the
that
back
card.
the back of the rider card, and yellow would have been. Anywho,
All
are you
right.
playing any cards? Are you
Oh,
using
no.
any abilities?
No.
Okay, so
We're
then
just gonna
that
keep it like this.
is it. We
Okay.
have our winners.
They're
so
set.
it's green and
Blue. Because
Blue.
3 plus 1 is 4, 2, 1, 2, 3. I didn't vote for yellow, even though I was invested in yellow.
which means this goes. All of your blue
All the blue goes away.
goes
Yep.
away, and green goes
Green
away.
goes away.
At least I have some leftover.
You get your
influence
yellow back
for
though.
points.
Yeah, for 1 point
at the
each.
end of the game. Because it's funny, all 3 of these colors are going to give you 1 point each.
Mm-hmm.
It's just orange. Any leftover is not that great.
Sure.
All right. So for green, you have
I have 1. Where am I? Here. This one onto here because of this rider card. So it's only going to get me
4
4
points. Yes. So you're
I'm
green,
green,
right?
yep.
So 38.
8.
Okay. I have 1, 2,
2.
3
3. Yes. Okay.
plus 1 here. So it's
That's
3
good.
times 4 is 12.
12 is good.
So 12, am I blue? 12 to 49.
Yep.
All right. So there's
that's
that.
red.
Then we have blue, and I don't think I have anything on blue.
This is good. Okay.
Right.
So I have these 2.
Okay.
1, 2. So 2 times, what is that? 3?
3. So 6.
6.
So you're
So
going to
it's
go
at
to
44?
44.
Okay. It's really tight.
All right. That's it. That is the end of the game. So now we're going to go ahead and go into endgame scoring, starting with ambassador sets. So I have 2 different sets right now because it has to be sets of different colored cards. And I have 1 set of 2 and a single set that has 1 card.
A set of 2 is worth 5, and then a
Yes.
single card is worth 2. So you get 7 points.
7 points. So I'm going to go to 56.
Yep. And then I have yellow, green, blue, and orange. So the full complement is 18. So what is
So
that?
18. So you go to, so 18 minus 6, so 12, 50, 62.
62? Okay.
Right? Next, we're going to score additional influence. And so influence does not score any points on their own, but anybody who claims any faction objectives will be able to score them. We did not do that in
No.
this game.
Yeah, we were so focused on just keeping it tight over here.
And we'll score council bonuses. So any factions that appear on the council vote board here, a total of 2 times, will be worth 1 prestige per leftover influence you have in your supply. I believe these 3 colors, yellow, green, and blue, all appeared twice.
Yeah.
So they're each going to be worth 1 point.
Well, I have mine. That's everything.
5?
5 points.
5, okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to go to 67.
Uh-huh.
I have
What
a
do you
few
got?
here. So looks
You
like
amassed some, huh?
I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, 8.
So it was helpful that some of these didn't win. You know? They got them back.
Sure.
So this goes to 64.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
This is so close.
This is really close.
Okay, so that's that.
Okay.
And by the way, you can play action cards from your hand that are not prestigious maneuvers to give you these additional points.
Yeah,
So
I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend this 1 green
Okay.
to get me an additional point.
to get you 1 point. Okay, so it goes and gets discarded, and you're going to go to 68.
Yeah.
All right, then.
How about you? Are you going to?
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
But I do have some prestigious maneuvers, and that is the last part of scoring. So these are action cards that just give you end game prestige. They are worth 3 prestige each. I have 2 of them for a total of 6 points. So I'm going to go to 70, and
all right.
that is it for me.
Good thing I have one of those. Prestige, I get 3.
Oh my gosh, I was so close.
71.
I can't believe
Ah.
it. 1 point.
Yeah.
Wow.
There we go. It was a set collection.
That was at yellow. I messed up
That was
so
that yellow
bad.
that you did there.
So bad. Just
Yeah.
for these endgame points, I
know.
sacrificed
That was close.
yellow. And then yellow would have been worth 2. Oh,
Yeah.
that would have been so glorious.
I did not want to bet on yellow because I
Mm-hmm.
would have to give up points to then let you net more.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hoping that I could squeak out some blue. I do have some regret not making this blue, though. The UA, knowing that I had possibly enough cubes to influence
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But I did want that just in case you overbet on the yellow.
I see.
And then I would be able to score some. That was a tough decision for me.
Yeah, these rider cards can change things up quite a bit. And so can these objectives if somebody can get to them soon enough.
Yeah.
Especially something like this, the green one, that can give you additional power and that can actually move around.
I really wanted this green one, but I knew I wanted to try to complete a set here. And so at one point, I think I had like 6 green cubes. And if I just had
see.
enough power kind of situated, if I put one of these on, something like that,
Yeah,
then I could have been really close to that. But
Right.
I definitely wanted to get the full 18 points here. So
I see.
yeah.
And I really wanted to try to get to the top of my upgrade board, but just the way that the tiles came out, like the upgrades weren't really close to each other. They're primarily on the Utopian Alliance.
The upgrade actions didn't really occur for us too much
Yeah.
on tile flips.
Well, there you have it. That is Brink. Now, again, this game plays up to 5 players. And so at higher player counts, you'll naturally have a lot more trading and negotiating around the table.
yeah.
And this is the 2-player experience that we just wanted to demonstrate.
Now, if you have any questions about the game, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. We'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. If you are interested in the campaign, there is a link in the description, which you can check out. And thank you so much for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.